Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Car Addiction. Today what I have in front of you is a 2010 Dodge Charger. It is the SXT trim with the all-wheel drive. Wonderful car. And take that wonderful word with a pinch of salt, because it's not a kind of car that I find it fancy. But there are a lot of people who loves these cars, and of course it's the 3.5 liter V6 with the 250 horse, not the 6.2 liter Hemi, which is definitely the car you want, because this thing is slow, super slow. But you know what? Apart from the engine, as a vehicle, it's very American. It's very muscle. It looks wonderful. I really like the factory spoiler in the back, because it really does make it look slick. Now, on the other hand, I think this car sits a little too high. If you see this is the standard wheel, factory wheel, just painted black, which also makes it look a little cooler, rather than just the aluminum finish. If you notice, it's not an off-road vehicle. There's a lot of space. Why does it need to sit that high? Same here. If you use a set of aftermarket coilovers, man, I'm telling you, it's gonna look so much slicker. Same setup, just gonna look much better. And also, it's not gonna ride like a boat. Yes, I drove it last night, and I'm stay tuned to this channel or to this video, because I'm gonna take it out for a spin and I'll explain the whole situation. It rides like a boat. That's my other problem. I love these cars, but it's the wrong car. I'm gonna go through an interior video to show you the interior, and I'm not a big fan of the interior either. It's the cloth seats, nothing wrong with that, but everything else, it is sort of soft touch, not really that soft touch. The seating position is not the greatest. I sat there. Same with the other side, and I'm gonna show you an interior video, and I will start the car. I don't really know where the key is. I think it's in the steering column. Freezing my toes because I'm wearing these shoes. Wrong shoes for this weather. Yeah, the key is in the steering column. Very standard looking key, same key that you get from a Dodge Caravan. Come on, it's a Charger. You don't think Chargers could have received a better key? Starts. It has a 193,000 kilometers, Canadian car. And again, the interior, it's so hard, and it looks like a truck. You sit lower to the ground. The visibility outside is not the greatest. It's a big, full-size vehicle, don't get me wrong, but I would prefer a little better visibility. Sorry guys, I'm bitching about it, but I'm gonna get a lot of hates, and I understand where you're coming from. It's just not the kind of car for myself. For the interior panels, on the left hand side there's a button to open your trunk, and the headlight controls and the dimmer, and over here it's just the standard fuel gauge, big gauge, it drinks a lot of fuel, speedo, tacho, and the heating gauge. Now the other thing I struggle to wrap my head around it is, why can't US car makers go to a better dash? These numbers, they look like they came from a classic calculator. Come on, you guys are not charging anything cheap for these vehicles. Why can't you offer a better quality product? The steering, it came off a Durango, I believe, or a Dodge Ram 1500. Huge steering, it's not a truck. It's not. And then the the plastic is so bad. These are not a big fan. On the center console, you have the hazard and the traction control off. Never press that button. Again, very calculated looking, very old school audio. And then the HVAC section where you have the fan controls, the heating, and where the air is coming from. And that's pretty much it. You have your knob, and then a couple of there's actually just two coffee cup holders, because sometimes some vehicles will have a cup holder area in the door, which it clearly does not. And the armrest is big, but I don't know if it's big. Armrest is big. It's not a selling factor for me. Keep an eye. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this vehicle. Alright, I hope the camera feels more stable right now. It's just the headgear setup that I have right now that I'm just making the camera bounce a little too much. So basically, I believe during the production or design of this car, Mercedes owned Dodge Chrysler, and I believe this car has a Mercedes developed transmission, which is necessarily not good. A lot of issues with this transmission has been discussed all over the blogs, partly to do with the shifting. Last night when I was on the highway, the transmission was confused and it would shift every time at the wrong position. And let's say when I needed power, it's at a lower gear ratio, and I will put at least 40% input at the throttle or 50%, and it won't shift down. It will only shift down when I put close to 70 or 80%, where basically I'm trying to floor it. Yes, it will come down and the car RPM goes up and you will get the power. I don't know why it does that, and I never really tried the sports option. You know what, I'm gonna sorry, this car doesn't have it. I'm an idiot. Anyways, yeah, that's that was my issue with the transmission. On the other hand, because it's the 3.5 liter V6, this V6 does not really have a nice engine tone. I don't know, it sounds like a lawnmower. That's what I'm trying to say. The exhaust is not throaty or anything like that. It's pretty quiet. So yeah, if it was the 6.2 Hemi, then yeah, that would be a solid car. Definitely, any day, every day, I will take that 6.2 Hemi over this 3.5 V6. And the other, the steering feel on this car it's like my truck, which it doesn't really have much. It corners, but nothing significant, not on a dime or anything like that. It's very loopy, and the suspension, as I mentioned earlier, has such a big trouble in the suspension. It's almost like an off-road kind of setup. It really should have a little firmer suspension. That way, when you're on the corner, it corners well, and the handling of the vehicle will change significantly. And yeah, well, that's my thought process on it. If you ask me if I will ever buy a Dodge Charger, oh yeah, I will. I'll buy the real one, the classic one. Or if I have to buy a new one, I will definitely go with the 6.2 Hemi. And if I can get the money for it, I will probably go with the Hellcat, because those are the vehicles that is going to be a future classic. They're gonna hold their value, and eventually they will start appreciating overvalue. This, I don't think it will ever happen. I really don't. Alright, well, if you have any question, leave it in the comment section. If you think I'm too negative, please leave it in the comment section. I am not really a American car fanboy, which I accept, but hey, leave the hate on the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos, and I will try to keep my best to update all the new and fresh content. Thank you.